Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to some more Project Zomboid playing as Colonel Kurtz, and today we have, well, a lot on the menu. One of the things that we have to do is get some clothing, because it is 13.7 degrees outside, and we're slowly heading into winter, but before all of that, hold on. I could have sworn I heard, like... No, I can definitely hear someone banging on these walls. Ah! It's you who is the bane of my existence. Lovely. Right, let's just get you out of here really quickly. Like so. Right, thought I heard something. Okay, so, as I was saying, today, I don't know how feasible it's going to be to find some clothing really quickly and around here that's in good condition and all that, but immediately I want to head down here and start foraging. I spent most of the evening just reading, basically. I read about half the Electrician Volume 1 book, and I also did some inventory sorting around the house, stuff like, let me think. So there was a couple of items that I needed to move around, some stuff in the backpack that I needed to clear out, and also there were some items that I had multiple of, like multiple VHSs of the same show, or the same episode of the same show. So I got rid of some of them, and yeah, I just threw them in the trash. Basically, don't need multiples. In real life, yeah, were this a little bit more realistic, I would need multiple, well, multiple of everything, kind of, right? I'm gonna take some of this rotten food and compost it. Oh, also, I'm going to get a fork, is what I'm going to get. And the reason I'm going to get a fork is so I can eat with it. Really, Juggernaut, is that what they're used for? It gives you a neat little cute animation of you using the fork every time you get one. Or rather, every time you open a can and you know, eat it. It's really adorable. So, yeah, that's the reason. I cleared this house out already, right? I'm just making some reason double sure that I've left everything here. Yeah, this is what I wanted, basically. I want to change shirts, or rather, I want a shirt to begin with because I don't have one. And then there's this sweater, and look, it's not the best thing ever, but it'll do, especially as it's cold outside. Ooh, baby, it's cold outside, and so on and so forth. You get the point. Yeah, that's the only reason I came to this house, and you know, it's down here. So I threw away duplicates. Were this slightly more realistic, and you know, it's already sometimes grueling in its realism, but were this even an even more realistic game, then there would be a chance that a tape would I swear to the Lord Almighty, I did not mean to shout there. I swear to you, I did not mean to shout. Alright, I wanted to use this Tanto knife for a little bit, even though knives aren't really my thing. I wanted to, you know, test it out for a while. And this is what we're going to be doing for the majority of the episode, I'm afraid. Well, maybe not. We'll see how things go. Maybe we get this over with quickly, but the idea is to use search mode like this to scavenge for mushrooms. And these mushrooms are poisonous. At least I'm 90% sure that's what that means. Which is fairly interesting. Anyways. Is it because of my foraging level that I know that they're poisonous? Is that how that works? Pretty interesting if that's the case. Of course, the problem is, every time you get into combat, you leave search mode, so you have to get back in, but other than that, we're doing fine here. Let me just check. Yeah, we're exactly where we need to be on this little road thing. Now, I know some might say that if you're looking for clothing, a good way to go about things is to not use sharp weapons. So don't use kukuris and knives, stuff like that. Use blunt weapons if you want to preserve clothing. True, very true, and this works for the vanilla game. And I feel like I've mentioned this previously, but it's been a while, so now that clothing is becoming a bit more scarce, I feel like I should mention it again. That's true for the vanilla game. In 10 years later, all of the zombies already have completely degraded clothing on them, full of holes and you know, all kinds of damaged and messed up. And so, as a result, it doesn't really matter what weapon you use, because the clothes that you find on the undead are 9 times out of 10 going to be, well, pretty much useless, let's be honest. And so, if that's the case, then, yeah, you know, no real point in worrying too much about it, I would say. But in, you know, the regular starts of like 7 days, 10 days, 30 days later, whatever, and just the regular game with the regular settings, yes, definitely, if you're looking for clothing, especially if you spot a police officer with, like, body armor or anything, really, that might pique your interest that you might want to wear, just switch to melee weapons, or better yet, just kill everyone, or kill all the zombies around with whatever weapon you want, and leave the one that you want to loot last, and just push him over, and finish him off, like, stomp him to death, basically, you know. Don't even need to bother switching weapons. This works. I found a pistol in the middle of nowhere. A Taurus M9. In admittedly not the best condition, but a pistol nonetheless. If you asked me this morning, Juggernaut, you're going to go foraging, right? What do you expect to find? I would have listed probably 20, 30 things that I expect that I might potentially find foraging. If you would ask me to then go on and keep listing stuff until I get to 1,000 items, after 1,000 items, I still would not have mentioned a pistol. That still would not have crossed my mind. That is a foraged pistol, I'm pretty sure. It's not just one that someone somewhere dropped. I'm 90% sure that it's not. Fascinating. Well, the multiplier is still 8, so we keep going until we get to the end. Yeah, we can discard that. Pick this up. This is interesting. 90 experience. You get tons of experience from finding things. Luckily, I mean, not so much from finding like regular stones and stuff, but plants and insects and stuff like that. Poof, man, tons and tons and tons of experience. Found a leek as well. Would you look at that? 300 experience. Oregano. Lovely spice. Love to use it, especially with the tomatoes and all sorts of dishes. Pizzas, pastas, and so on and so forth. Comfrey, don't know really what that is, but we'll experiment with it. Tons of experience, and I imagine if I look, I'm like halfway to level 6, right? Yeah. Pretty much exactly halfway to level 6. And the beautiful part about this is, the more you forage, the easier it is to spot items that you're looking for. And so, it's really rewarding. It's a great system, and I like it, and compared to what it was before, if some of you remember, I like this a lot more. Sure, it's annoying, and it's annoying if you want to find specific items, because you can still do that. You can do search focus on stones, for example, or whatever. And that's great, but as you can see, I don't really see much point in doing that. Maybe if I don't know. I feel like if I have no focus, I have equal chance of finding everything, right? But if I set focus, maybe it's different. I don't know. I'll experiment a little bit with setting focus when I'm foraging down the main road, sort of the town that I was in. Luckily, this forested area isn't super dense, so I can actually walk around in relative safety. There's a small group of zombies here. None of them sprinters, so it's not a big deal. Okay, group is not so small. And they are kind of scattered. Maybe an opportunity to play around with a knife a little bit. Woof! Okay. Excuse me, gentlemen and ladies. I am here to forage, not to fight endless waves of your friends. Yeah, see stuff like this, like leather jacket. Yeah. It's a shame it's completely... You sprinted, I saw you. I could have sworn at least that I did. Absolute bar steward. Okay, well, I mean, since they're here, I might as well use the opportunity to rip up all the clothing, right? Because, that's another thing that I want to do. Just rip people's clothing off. No, I want to, you know, level up my tailoring skill too. Haven't mentioned, but got myself a lovely frappe for today. Still under that Greek influence from the vacation, and yeah. Man, Greeks know their coffees. Trust me. At least as far as I'm concerned. Because they're not really... I mean, okay, you have the traditional Greek coffee, which is just, you know, it's a black coffee in a small cup and a bit of sugar in it, or not, and you know, plain coffee. Just water and coffee, and that's it. They make tons of those, that's fine. But what I've noticed while I was there is that most Greeks don't drink that anymore. They've evolved, or rather, I'd make it sound insulting. Rather, they've evolved beyond what I see around here in my environment, right? Like they drink the dessert stuff, which people often look at in a derogatory fashion because, well, I don't know. I guess other people's happiness offends them or something. It's really the best I can I can come up with. Oh god, I hope you can't hear that in the background. You can definitely hear that. Give me a second, I'm going to close the window! Okay, sorry about that, folks. That took me by surprise. We're renovating the driveway and the yard outside, and we're putting those tiles down, and now we have like a bunch of construction workers there doing it. I thought they left because it's like late afternoon, but apparently they're still going at it. They have just a little bit left to finish, so I suppose that's why they stayed longer today. But yeah, I didn't really know that they were still here. Right, window closed, fan on. Hopefully I can survive for about, I don't know, 30 minutes in the heat. And with the same stuffy air, I suppose. But anyways, that's it as far as the clothing is concerned. Now let's keep investigating. I reckon... yeah, that's not really important, although I could wear these sunglasses. Yeah, why not? There you go. Now let's keep going. Which is actually kind of a thing I had in mind to talk about for today's episode. This is the danger of foraging. This is why I didn't want to do it off camera. Because you can quickly get surrounded, as you can see. Holy moly. Alright, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. This is why doing this is kind of dangerous. Although a part of me is glad to be fighting them here, because that means that my house is probably going to be a bit safer. Because this morning I've had intruders apparently, so, you know. There is that, I guess. So where was I going with this? Ah, yes. So, I kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit. Not coffee again. No, please, Juggernaut, anything but your love of dessert coffee. Yeah, look, I'm just... all I'm saying is I was glad to find that it was something that was broad in its appeal somewhere in the world, right? Because I feel like most people on the internet are very negative towards it. Even though it is, I think, more popular than most things, but, you know, you get a different impression of it when people keep criticizing you and keep looking down upon it. And I guess online you get a slightly twisted perspective of reality, but But anyways, not the main point. What I wanted to talk about is like that whole idea of other people's happiness pissing you off, because I got some very interesting comments on not my Zomboid stuff. That's been lovely, but I got some very interesting, I want to call it interestingly passionate comments on my Tarkov videos. And generally speaking, during Tarkov, I can't really talk about anything else. Like, sometimes I'll rant about a firearm, but most of the time it's commentary about what's happening in the video. Here I have a little bit more, it's a little bit more of a relaxing game. I have a little bit more space, I guess, to talk about various things. And the whole coffee situation and all of that reminded me, well, I guess coincided with those comments as well. And the comments for the Tarkov episodes was, you have no balls, you have no... I mean, I apologize for swearing out of the blue like that, but that was the comment, right? You have no balls, you have no courage, you are not a real man, you are a coward, and so on and so forth. Grow some aforementioned testicles and go and play online against real people. And don't play the single-player stuff. Because we all know the size of one's testicles is determined by how many online video games they play. You know, in my old age, I've found that the thing tends to be invertedly proportionate, right? The more games, the smaller the... But anyways, I don't want to insult anyone in the opposite direction. I'm just saying that that sort of passion, for lack of a better word, or not for lack of a better word, but for not wanting to use more harsh language, let's say that sort of passion, I find mostly within prepubescent, or barely pubescent children, or adults that have not mentally grown out of that that period of their lives, shall we say. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. What do you think about that? Genuine question, because on the one hand, I get it. I get that people think that, you know, just because it's a single-player version of a popular multiplayer game, that you not playing the multiplayer version makes you terrible at the game, and you suck, and you're a noob, and you're the worst person on earth, and everything, and... Okay. First of all, so what? Is there a problem with me sucking at a game? I don't really think I suck at Tarkov. I just think I don't really play a lot of Tarkov, which you might argue is one and the same, but not really. You could play a lot and still suck. You know, generally, I would say that with the ungodly amount of hours I tend to spend playing video games, overall, I could get pretty decent at most games. Lovely. Especially if I actually have some passion for them and I'm willing to learn and improve and so on and so forth. But even if you don't, who cares, right? Who cares if you're going to play a game and you're going to... Christ, yeah, that's going to be a problem. Thankfully, it's a screamer, not a screecher, because screechers attract zombies from larger distances. But now I've just got to keep an eye out. And if you lose like 60% of your games or have a horrible kill-to-death ratio in whatever multiplayer Twitch shooter that you like, or Twitch as in reaction, you know, not the platform, and you're having fun, who cares? Who gave anyone the authority to tell you you're not allowed to do that? I mean, do people not realize that, or does it get lost somewhere along the way that we play video games for entertainment? Unless you're doing it professionally for an esports organization, then that's different. But the rest of us here, we play them for entertainment, or for YouTube as a hobby, or both, or, you know, just to kill time, or to do something while we listen to an audiobook, which is what I've been doing this morning. Having a lot of fun in Warhammer 3, playing on easy difficulty. Well, okay, I'm playing on normal difficulty, but even if I was playing on easy difficulty, right, so what? I want to relax, not really think about what I'm doing with my units, and just do something while I'm listening to Warhammer 40k audiobooks, or I also have to listen to Waiting for the Barbarians, but that's for work. And even, you know, even better example, I'm doing something for work. Who cares? Like, why does that matter? If it matters to you and you want to get better, fair enough, but people take it upon themselves to sort of think that, I don't know, that you owe them to be better at the game and you owe them to not suck or whatever. And I'm not talking about just you know, your teammates being mad at you when you do something terrible, because that I get. It's a team effort, right? Someone's fun is winning, and if you don't care about winning and you're just, you know, playing drunk or whatever, you're ruining their fun. They have a right to be mad, but this is different. This is them being mad that you're not playing the game they want you to play the way they want you to play. Not in their team within an online lobby or whatever. No, just in general. Imagine walking up to a football player and being mad that they don't play basketball. And telling them, oh, if you had real balls, you would play basketball, or you would play cricket or whatever. You play cricket, if you had real balls, you would play golf or whatever. It's the same thing. It makes no sense, in my modest opinion. And I don't think it's a fairly controversial thing either. Right? I think it's just common sense, but not just that. Let's put this to stone and maybe we find something, eh? Who knows? I'm not sure how foraging works. Is when it says like the search radius is better. Does that mean it's just the search radius, or can I find new items now that I'm at a higher level that I've missed? I'm not supposed to. Yeah, I'm not supposed to sprint, right? Yeah, you can't sprint while you're doing it. You have to walk. That was my my biggest complaint before. Because you take a look at this and it says stones are abundant on roads. But the problem is I'm now focusing on trying to find stones and I haven't found a single one. And I don't think I'm going to find a single one in probably a long while. Stone. Well, there you go. Never mind. Forget I said anything. But my point is, previously I was doing this and I couldn't find much of anything. That was the issue, I suppose. Yeah, anyways. Let me just finish my story really quickly as I search for a few more stones, and then we're going to get back home. And I asked, like, yeah, you should grow some testicles and then go and play online. And I'm like, why? And I didn't get a response. And then I got another comment, basically to the similar effect of, you know, oh, you're playing multiplayer, you're a noob, you suck at the game, you're horrible, go and then, you know, some other things that I really can't repeat on YouTube because of the terms and services, but it involved someone unaliving someone because they are bad at a video game, supposedly. Where does this come from? I understand that the Tarkov community, parts of the Tarkov community, not even the Tarkov community, like some fringe elements of the Tarkov community are like that. And in Project Zomboid, you don't really find that. I mean, you have people playing with zombies turned off, with infections turned off, with cheats, with easy difficulty, with the most hardcore stuff ever, and everyone's sort of accepting of each other most of the time. In fact, the vast majority of the time, and everyone's like, you know what, you play however the hell you want, you know? Like, it's a sandbox game, you tune it to exactly how you want it. I could recommend that you try playing this, and this, with these settings, because I think it's fun, but nobody's really, like, asking you to unalive yourself because you've chosen the wrong zombie population density or whatever. At least I haven't found that in Project Zomboid, and its related communities, really. But in Tarkov, it seems to be a more common thing. And it's just, I am genuine. I'm not. Look, I've been around on the internet for a long while. I have thick skin. I don't care. I have fun with comments like that. I tend to sort of be innocently rational, if that makes sense, and just ask dumb and simple questions like, why do you think I should play online? Why do you think online is harder? Why do you care if someone plays single player or multiplayer? Why do you care if someone plays like this or like that? And you just people get increasingly frustrated. People like that get increasingly frustrated when you ask them simple questions that sort of ultimately point to the lack of any logical sense behind their arguments. But that's not that's not why I'm telling you this. Why I'm telling you this is I'm genuinely confused as to what has to happen to you in your life. How frustrated do you have to get with either the game or I don't know what, to go and threaten people or tell people to commit heinous acts upon themselves because they don't play the game you want them to play? Truly, it's... I mean, I genuinely believe that there is a big crisis with mental health worldwide. And I don't know precisely why this crisis exists, and I don't think this crisis is documented by it being a medical crisis and with documented medical cases. I believe it's a problem of undocumented, irrational, and problematic behavior like that. TLDR is, I think that's becoming, that sort of attitude and the sort of sense of entitlement and the sense of, I don't know, just... I get the feeling that people get nervous and get angry way, way more than they used to in the past. Well, Juggernaut, what about World War I and II? Yeah, I don't mean wars, I mean day-to-day neighbor kind of stuff, right? I think people are a lot nowadays are a lot nastier to one another than they used to be. And maybe I'm just you know, being nostalgic about past times that I maybe haven't even lived through, but I get the feeling that there's more and more people that are just a little bit unhinged and have some issues that they may or may not be aware of, right? And that most of the time go untreated and undocumented, and not just untreated in the sense of, I don't know, mental illness or whatever, but just sorting out your own problems, right? That don't necessarily involve you being mentally ill, just having psychological problems. We all do, right? And then just, I think people repress them, and then there's the whole stigma behind mental illness, and again, not just illness, but problems generally speaking that everyone has. The whole stigma behind seeking help. Psychologically speaking, you know, for stress and for anger issues or for whatever, there's a huge stigma around that, and I don't think that's any good for anyone. But I think a part of that, and for maybe some other reasons, that sort of stress and aggressive behavior is growing for whatever reason, and remains stigmatized and untreated, that we end up with situations like that. And then there's always, of course, the anonymity of the internet makes you say nastier things than you would IRL and so on and so forth, but I don't want to go too far into this. My point is, I am genuinely confused. This is the whole reason I'm telling you this story, is I'm genuinely confused as to why you would do something like that, and why you would be so aggressive as to do something like that. And why you would be so aggressive into pursuing this line of thinking, I suppose, or this harassment, or however you want to call it. I don't want to really dignify with harassment, because like I said, I really don't care about stuff like that. I have thick enough skin. I've been around for a long while. I've enrolled myself in PhD studies. Trust me, nothing you can tell me is going to hurt more than that. But... jokes aside, really, it's not a matter of feelings or whatever, it's just a matter of just genuine confusion as to... What's that? That must be tiring, right? To just be angry at the world for not doing exactly what you want them to do, and then going out and harassing people for it, right? It's gotta be not nice, right? Has to be. Anyways, that's all I had for the day, in terms of, yeah, I can get rid of those. Finally found boots, huzzah. Yeah, that's pretty much all I had on that topic. There was a little bit more to it, but I don't really want to, again, dignify it by talking about it too much, but yeah, there was a little bit more behind it as well, but it's still just mostly, I'm just confused as to why. Yeah. Anyways, let me grab, honestly, all of this. Put it in the backpack, because... yeah, I'm exhausted from just carrying all this stuff around, so... let's go ahead and get indoors. And probably just rest a bit, right? Although, again, rotten food could be very useful. We'll try and clean all this up. Right, sorry, someone's knocking at the door. Let's see what's going on over there. Okay, sorry about that. Although it does come to my attention that with that interruption, it's actually not a bad time to end the video, but let's go on for just a little bit more. I'm going to rest up here, and I also want to check something out since I'm in the vicinity, right? I want to take a look at the weapons depot over here. Oh, and that's very interesting too. That might actually solve a number of my problems. If his gear is in good order, which it could be. Ooh, that's a survivalist. And generally speaking, their clothing is in better condition because they haven't had it since, you know, the beginning of time. But they've only acquired it recently, so I can see some tears on the... Unfortunately, it's a fat one, so it's kind of hard to trip it over. Come on. Jesus, you'd think with 10 strength it'd be enough to... No? Oh, for crying out loud. Do I have a blunt weapon on me? I think I do. Should have the hammer, right? Yeah. I don't want to tear through the jacket if the jacket's any good. There you go. That works. Right, prepper vest, prepper jacket, prepper boots, prepper trousers. Unfortunately, none of this is in the condition that I'm looking for. However, there is ammo to be picked up. And the vest... Yeah, the vest is like a backpack, so... I can remove bags from the vest. Let's see how that works. And then it's just a vest, and then I can wear it. And it's... Well, then it gets very interesting, doesn't it? I had no idea this works like this, so I have, but it's only specific things I can put in here, like the... Right. But that's fine, because I have this. So I can attach it to the flashlight, and then... 44 Magnum single stack magazines, 9mm, and a Rock Armory 911. Or a Rock Island Armory 911. 1911, what the... That got oddly awkward and incorrect very quickly. Sorry about that. Just... Yeah. Right, I mean, I might as well pick them up. I have space in the... thing. And then there's the prepper helmet as well, which looks pretty cool. Yeah, I'm gonna go with it, honestly. I like the look. Just put away the... I'll put away all of this, basically, right? I don't need this anymore, don't need this anymore. So, prepper gun magazines, prepper vest knife, and... That's it. Here's a question. Can I, where is it? Can I remove this from my belt and attach it to the vest? Yes, I can. I can attach any knife to this slot and then presumably any magazines to these slots. Okay, now we're in business. I like this. This is a huge fashion upgrade and, whatchamacallit, like, utility kind of upgrade thing, right? Like, it's useful. Utilitarian, maybe, upgrade as well. Is the word utilitarian? It's useful is what I'm trying to get at, right? It's fashionable, but it's also extremely useful. I like that. And then... Oh, I can tuck them in. Or I can wear them. Or I can tuck them in. That's interesting. I want to inspect this. Because, let's say I patch this with denim. Nah, it's just not going to work, is it? But let's try. I mean, it's... You know... Right, and then if I patch... I get the feeling that when I patch everything up, I get a bonus, don't I? Yeah, no, I don't. No, I don't. Never mind. Alright, that's a shame. So, the prepper trousers, not very useful, although I can rip them up and I get... I don't get much, never mind. Unfortunate. Yeah. Never mind. That would have been lovely, but you know, alas, not much we can do about that. I suppose I can rip up this clothing from a variety of enemies here. Then put away all of these and just consolidate these things. And that kind of works. I need to hold still while I'm doing it. Alright, there we go. That's two bits of thread. But I like this. It's like readily available stuff. Except now there's more of it, right? Like an extra... It's specific extra... How do I access 10? Is it 0? I suppose I don't access these at all. I don't need to. Yeah, it's like just basically extra quick bar slots, except they're oddly specific, more so than the belt and the... Well, the holster, I suppose, not really, but more so than the belt. However, still useful. And I like that very much. So, yeah. Good. Good. Now, I came here for the guns, and... well, I mean, I found them. I also found a bit of food. Garden fork. This thing's basically broken. So let's put it down. And equip this on my back. And then... oh, my voice cracked there. Sorry. And then... I suppose I could bring either the FAL or the... Well, I can't bring the FAL because it's not in great condition, but I can bring the M14 with me. 308 NATO magazines. The boxes of ammo. And then the Bison's not very useful. The SIG is... I already have pistols, and this is nearly broken as well, so I don't really need it. Although I could use the baseball bat and the spear. Well, spear maybe not so much, but baseball bat definitely. And then I think that's everything from this house that's any good and any useful, which is not a word, but that is of any use, right? I think so. And I think we can leave now with all of this stuff. The prepper vest, I had no idea worked like this. I thought it was just like a regular vest, and not a particularly great one at that. Maybe it it doesn't work with body armor. I'm not 100% sure on that. Ooh, I need a sack for the composters and stuff. Alright, well, I mean, I found a heap of useful things, and I'm very glad I did. I can now remove this and check this off, except it's the wrong colour. And there we go. Alright, lovely. Time to head back home, and on the road to home, I guess I'm going to be scavenging or foraging a little bit more like this, see if I can find something. How far am I from... Oh no, I'm at level 6. Right, so I probably shouldn't be doing this until I read the next book for scavenging. Right, well, since that's the case, I now know what I'm going to be doing next, right? Yeah, I'm going to be reading the next foraging level book, if I have it. And with this kind of equipment now, and both in terms of weapons and clothing, I might even be willing to go out and try and find some extra VHS tapes, books, car parts and stuff like that I need for next episode. Although, considering I was kind of exploring this one, maybe we're due for one more episode of just the regular grinding of, you know, skills and house maintenance and stuff like that, because, yeah, I mean, we kind of have to do a bit of that, I'm afraid. But afterwards, yeah. Afterwards, definitely, I think. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching and staying with me for the length of this series, which has been going on for a while now. I really appreciate all your support, and, well, if you have any ideas about what you want me to do, and if you have any suggestions about what you want to see and stuff like that, feel free to leave them down in the comments below, because I have plans for things that I'm going to do soon, but I also... I don't have that many plans, so I could use a couple of ideas, right? But anyways, thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe down below if you enjoyed the video and want to stay tuned with the rest of the series and the rest of the content that I produce on this channel. My name's Juggernaut. Until next time, have fun, take care, and bye-bye. Oh, and of course, as always, options for supporting the channel down below, donations, stuff like that, available. Don't feel compelled to do anything, just letting you know. Right, see ya, bye-bye.